start, 49ers.
Faithful ride with me. Red and gold, put it to the day I D.I.E. Reppin' Niner gang and it's all I bleed. Racking up dubs in my Levi jeans. And we run over the league with our whole team. We that number one seed cause we ballin'. Putting in that work early in the morning. Super Bowl team and now these haters salty.
All right, welcome to IE Sports Radio. I'm Niners Jess, along with Ty Alston. Maddie B is not with us tonight, and your girl Bex will be joining us shortly. We are the East Coast Red and Gold. What's going on, Ty?
Nothing much. Doing good.
Happy Wednesday.
And happy Wednesday in that number one seed mood,
Yes. Number one seed mood, and Sunday could be a hat and t-shirt game.
Exactly.
Which is awesome. Tonight's show, we're going to obviously talk 49ers. I'm going to be posting the StreamYard link shortly. So if you'd like to join us for about 3 minutes to chat 49ers, whatever's on your mind. If you need to whine a little bit, we'll call it the whiner line.
Welcome to the whiner line.
So yeah, if you want to, come chat with us, you got 3 minutes and then we move on from you and go on to the next person. So I'll post that in a few minutes. Ty, we are playoff bound.
Indeed. Officially.
Thanks to the Giants win over the Packers.
Yep.
Which was a surprise.
I know.
And
you saw that coming.
There's also a 59% chance per the ESPN analytics that we stay the number one seed.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep stacking those wins. Bang, bang. What do you think?
Exactly. We're in the driver's seat, which is where we wanted to be all along. And we know this is the time of year that this team really starts putting it together, right? Starts clicking on all cylinders. So it's a great position to be in. We don't have to worry about if this team does that or if that team does that for the next 4 games. We just got to take care of our own business like we've been doing these past 5 games. So it's a great spot to be in. And hearing these guys, the players themselves, talk this week, they know that this number one seed doesn't mean anything right now. They still got to go out there game after game and perform. So that's great to hear.
Yeah, it's good to know that they're not taking the Cardinals lightly. The Cardinals, regardless of their record, regardless of who they have, they always play us tough no matter what. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But yes, it is.
What are you drinking over there?
Yeah. It's nice to control our own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Because the past few years we're always like, okay, well, this one has to win, this one has to lose, know, and stuff like that. So it's very nice to do that. Is this success sustainable?
It is. Yes, period. We've seen how this team performed last year, right? And they rode it all the way through until injury struck, right? 2 tragic injuries in the same game just killed us, right? But this year, we've been relatively healthy all year. No major injuries.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. That trend continues. They'll definitely be there. We talked about this before. They're not this young group anymore. This isn't, 2018, 2019, where guys were in their first and second years. They're a bit more mature now, more seasoned. They've been there. So they know what it takes to, maintain the success and reach the ultimate goal. So they're definitely in a sustainable position.
Yeah, for sure. I think this year's team, more so than even last year or the year before, this year's team just has a different vibe to it. It feels like it's just about, we're almost there.
Yeah.
What I mean? Like it's clicking, everything's clicking. Like the offense, the defense. Would you say that the offense is performing better than the defense?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. That is real tough. You say yes and no in certain aspects. It's Christmas tree terradome's crazy. National Lampoon's Christmas, everyone. You can say, I would say yeah. I would say yes to that. Because they are clicking on kind of all cylinders, even though there's some offensive lulls in games, which we've seen. Once they get out of that kind of funk, they just take off, and it's great to see. The defense kind of shakes your head. They bend and break, which always scares you. Bend but don't break, I should say, because you're always scared that, okay, what if they break, right? So, but you don't see that same like readiness that you see from the offense thus far. Like it's still not that same shutdownness, if you will. So I would say right now the offense definitely has a little bit of an edge on the defense.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. The offense, although it has started off slow, it's still just when it clicks, and there's just there's no looking back. I mean, the defense, sometimes I find myself like, oh my God, especially those third down situations, which we still can't seem to get off the field.
Right.
And that I don't know if that'll be fixed. I mean, that's kind of like a bend but don't break scenario, but we have to get off the field because it's
exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like we gave up a 3rd and 19 versus Philly, and my stomach just kind of flipped. It was like, really 3rd and 19 with skinny Devontae Adams running the ball, like someone couldn't pop him. It's like, oh, come on. So we get those moments, right? So that's why I say, the offense still has a little bit of an edge over the defense there. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to, should I go ahead and post the link?
Yeah, post the link.
All right.
Some people's in here.
Post the link. Come join us. Come talk to us. You got about 3 minutes to talk or whine. If you're going to whine, we'll call it the whiner line.
That's right.
If you're going to talk, we'll call it the Niner line. And then we'll just move on to the next person. But you had 2 teams, Niners and the Seahawks, division opponents. Round 2 was a lot closer than I had expected.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, we know every time we play Seattle, it's always what's going to happen, what's going to be the outcome, because it's always weird, right? They're a division opponent, a thorn in our sides for years. Those games are always tough, right? And just with Seattle in particular, it's always a question mark of what's going to happen. Like this week, Geno doesn't start, Drew Lock starts, right? So right there, it's like, okay, here we go.
Who has a punchable face, by the way? I don't know what it is.
Very. He's just got this thing about him where like he seems arrogant and smuggish and like,
but at the same time, it feels like he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah. He looks lost out there. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, this guy. I
thought that was just me.
Yeah. So, so there's that. And then, like, we lose Mooney Ward. 3rd play of the game, was it? Right?
Yeah. Just about, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like these weird things happen when we play them. So it's like, okay, great. Here we go. Right? Now the BS is starting. So the game kind of went kind of as expected, but we still prevailed, made it happen, made the plays that were necessary to get it done, and handled business. Showed them that they really shouldn't be on the field with us because we're a better team, like we talked about last week. Terror Dome in the house.
What's up, my peoples? Test,
Welcome,
1, 2. How's the new mic sounding? Am I 5 by 5?
You got an echo going on.
I figured I did.
Too much reverb or something.
It is powerful. How's that? I'm coming down on the levels. How's that sounding?
That's
better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
all right.
it's got
Terror Dome,
lights.
what's on your
Yes,
mind?
ma'am. Hey man, let's get this win. Let's run these cards out of the game and get ready for criminals. As Shannon Sharp would say, criminal. Got to get ready for criminal. The Ravens coming. It's foul season. We shooting birds. I think you used bird shot for that. Hey, I'm excited. You know how it goes, Jet. You know, it is what it is, my brother. Jess, we trying to do what we trying to do, man. It's in sight. You know, you're running that race, that 100 meters. You're running that marathon. You're running that 2 miles, and you can see the finish line. It's our fight and our war is with ourselves. Truly, I've seen it early on. When they came out with the top 100 players or the top 50 players back in June, I looked around that roster. I said, I see about 10 either Pro Bowlers or all pros right now. And you got the best play designer in the game. And I know what number 13 got in him. I know what he got in him. You can't tell me that we ain't ready, man. I felt like this in 88. I felt like this in 89. When it was find this wine, sit down and recline, watch the sunshine, take a stroll, listen to rock and roll. I was EPMD down and I was 49er down. This go back a long time. And I know what we got out there. I know what is there. And Christian McCaffrey, the Trent Williamses, the blocking downfield, the Ayuks, the selflessness of our receivers downfield, the Juwan Jennings, the Greenlaw being nasty, and everybody stop comparing Greenlaw to Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Yes,
because
It's not the same.
Because Draymond, you Warrior fans, hey man, y'all gotta do something with Draymond, man. I'm so sorry. Hey, Draymond got to get 10 games, man. Draymond got to get 10 games.
Need some talking to, man. Like
Draymond doing too much. He's a habitual line stepper. But man, these Niners are just what you want. It's elegant football. It's artistic football. It is a wonderment to watch and behold, and then go back and look. You can give dissertations. You can give clinics on selflessness. You can give clinics on leverage. You can give clinics on quarterback reading. You can give clinics on route running.
Right.
Looking at these guys, it's just pretty football. It is what it is. Our enemy is complacency. Our enemy is not taking advantage of the lesser opponents. And there's some good teams out there. Philadelphia is a wonderful team. The Dallas Cowboys are a good team. On any other year, man, you looking at a juggernaut. They got everything you need, all pros at different levels, and pass rushers and everything. But this team in the Bay is special.
Yep.
This collection of young men is special. And the selflessness of a Nick Bosa, the selflessness of a Christian McCaffrey and a Brandon Ayuk, Debo starting to hit Debo's season. Debo in Swahili means the first guy misses.
Mhm.
The first guy misses. and it's because of business decisions. I wouldn't want to tackle him either. I understand cornerbacks. I understand safeties. You ain't big enough, and the ones that are fast enough can't get there.
Yep. Gonna make you look bad.
It's wonderful, man. It's good football. We're looking now like a John Coltrane. We're looking like a Mozart. We're looking like a Beethoven. We're just trying to find perfection now.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is to play flawless, perfect football. Minimize all mistakes. Hit where you need to hit. And hit it exactly where you're supposed to hit. Pause. It's just coming to that. And the rest of the world is just waking up, man. Brock Purdy, I'm CEO of Rockefeller Rockefeller, y'all. He came in December 4th, 2022, just staring down blitzes, looking off safeties, and being accurate with the throw, the hip to shoulder disassociation. He's getting it out fast. He's getting it out quick. He can get it long. He's healing up. The elbow is feeling a little better. If y'all noticed the last 3 weeks, he feel a little bit better. He can stretch that thing like the kid on the Cam Newton commercial. I'm just stretching my arm a little bit. I'm stretching it. He got what you need. If it's a muddy pocket, he's still looking downfield, and if it's open, he's taking with a little stutter step. Homage to Walter Payton. I got a big one in the back that's like 1992 Phil Jackson, number 24. Hey, when it gets tight, get a ball to Jordan. Get a ball to Jordan. If you can't find no other play, hey, get it to Jordan, man.
Yep.
He'll get it to the cup. It's just almost an embarrassment of riches. And when other real fans with good teams, like a Pittsburgh, like a Dallas, like a Philly, they come to me and they see you with your paraphernalia on. They see the logo, the SF for the Father and the Son, and Holy Spirit resides in you. They just know. They like, man, how y'all pulling that off with? How y'all got all them people under the salary cap? When that starts happening,
Ain't worried.
I'm coming to see you. You
So
know what I
Pterodome,
want. I'll see you in Vegas in 24.
Your closing thoughts, Pterodome.
Let's go out and get it. Let's continue to operate flawlessly. There are going to be some ouches and some oes. Some, it's late in the season. Next man up. You got it. Jair Brown's got it. Cleveland Farrell can do it. Even if Jaylen Brown get in there and he got to get down to get it, you get it. It's out there for the taking. It's you. Believe in yourself. Believe it is happening. It is happening. It is before you. Let's continue to go out and get it.
Awesome. Thank you, Pterodome, for joining us.
Thank you, man.
Love you guys, man. That's a big Christmas tree too, man. Check it for possums. I seen some on the news and somebody cut down one and a possum was inside.
A lot of
That is
sap.
a huge Christmas tree.
If I see some start moving, it's going out the window.
Squirrel! All right, Pterodome.
Love you guys,
Thank you so
man.
much.
I love you, brother. Take it easy.
Y'all
You too.
too. God bless.
All right. We got next up, we got Tony Culp.
Lady of the Niners herself, How you doing, Tony?
What's up,
I'm
Tony?
great. How is everybody tonight? Because I know I'm feeling pretty great.
Good.
Good.
Good. What's on your
Feeling
mind?
good.
Well, I definitely wanted to pop in here and say this is awesome. You know, first time caller of the call-in show, so that's always amazing. And fun.
Woo!
Exactly.
Now, I'm like, yes. But yeah, the bird hunting season in general has been intense.
It's a party.
I love that.
Gotta have that.
It makes me feel really good. Like, yes, thank you.
I should have my disco ball going. Get my strobe
No,
going.
these Niners, like, we have seen this. This obviously isn't a team that came together overnight. This has definitely been a team in the making. And, you know, obviously through many adversities, really close games, heartbreaking losses. And it's just, it feels good to be right here where we're at, just right here. And it just feels like this is exactly where it's all supposed to be. This is where we're supposed to be. The Niners there's no other explanation as to how incredibly interesting this year is in comparison to, you know, no offense to Jimmy, but, you know, it's like we went through all that, you know, and then now we're finally past the whole, we have this quarterback situation. Like the situation with our quarterback is he's freaking awesome.
That's it. Period. That's it. And
It's
what a great situation to be in, right?
It really is. You know, 100 other problems, 99 other problems we can be in, but not a quarterback. Quarterback is not one. And, you know, with the amazing weapons, you know, some of the guys, it seems like they're being, you know, great sports about, you know, the way that the ball is getting passed around. You know, I know that CMC, you know, he really wanted to score that touchdown after that long drive of getting the ball down there. But I think deep down, I don't think he's too offended because at the end of the day, you're on the same team. You just score the points. Yeah. Whoever gets there closest, get it. Because who knows? Maybe he might not even had that opportunity to score that touchdown, even after the fact of running all those yards to get there. But it was just really nice to see that it was Mason that did it. And the whole fact that that touchdown did come into play and the fact that we beat the Seahawks again. You know, we swept the damn Seahawks. And that was like one of those biggest – you know, there's like certain games this year we were like, okay, yeah, so we knew that the Eagles game was going to be big because that is a still stinger. You know, that just happened last year. That's even more of a sting than, you know, the Ravens game because that's been since then years. But even that still stings. But the Eagles for sure. And to have stomped on the Eagles, stomped on the Seahawks twice, and, you know, now we're headed for, you know, the Cardinals numbers, the Rams numbers, and we're just going to keep on going ahead. I mean, I know it's just one game at a time, but, you know, every week is incredibly amazing. How are you guys feeling this week?
Feeling pretty good. You know, the fact that we're the number one seed, and, you know, even if the Seattle has the Eagles this week, so if Seattle beats the Eagles, you know, and we unfortunately lose to the Ravens, we still have it. But we're not looking at that. We're looking at winning out and, you know, and maintaining that number one seed, and, you know, that's it. But, you know, we're in good shape. And like I said earlier, you know, it feels good to control our own destiny. Because the last few years we haven't had the opportunity to do that.
It really does. And, you know, when we're all, you know, at the beginning of this game, we were all a little concerned about our depth. We didn't seem to really see the depth at that time. But then now, even with the different injuries that either be long-term or short-term this year, it just seems to have worked out. You know, everything seemed to just have worked out. Like there's been so many times, so many different seasons that the Niners had, you know, so many different injuries or not enough depth. And it doesn't seem like, even though when you look at it on paper, it doesn't seem like it'll work. But when these guys are being plugged in and they're producing these weekly game results, I mean, I have no doubts. No doubts.
We talked about that on the show before. Like, it's a testament to what like John Lynch and Adam Peters and Kyle has done with building a complete roster, right? Yes, we have our heavy hitters up top. But we also have a whole host of complementary guys in the fold that just come in and do their job that help the engine keep rolling, right? And they built a complete roster. If a man goes down, yes, we're worried, but we're also confident, okay, the next man up, he has great guys around him. I'm sure they're confident in him, and they'll get him in the right situations, right? And that's what we've seen this entire season. And it's been wonderful to see. And that's why, like, another reason why I think this is totally sustainable, because our entire roster is like kind of in that championship mold, the way it's built. And I love it.
Absolutely. And, it's like the Cardinals, they're coming up, and that's definitely going to be an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really afraid. I was listening on 49ers First Takes, Aaron, he was talking, and they had mentioned, it's like when it comes to the divisional games, you can't sleep on the division. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's either a blowout or you're losing, or maybe you're blowing somebody else. I don't know. It's pause. Sorry. But anyways, that came out totally wrong. But
it's a family show.
Yeah. But the Cardinals, yeah, I'm not too worried. Even with Kyler Murray being back, and whoever else they have, I don't pay too much attention. I will, look at the chart as far as like their injuries, because it kind of is nice to know that, all right, who are we going to prepare for?
Right.
But we know that, Kyler Murray, he's a little shorter than maybe some quarterbacks. So I'm hoping that with our defensive line, that's going to be a great day. And who knows, maybe we'll see a lot more, forced fumbles or maybe some pick sixes. So
I would like a pick six. I think we're due for one.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we had one. So yes, I like to see one as well.
Definitely.
Guys, if you'd like to call into the show, I posted the link in the chat. All you have to do is just click it and you're on. I'll see you. I'll bring you up. Tell us what's on your mind. If you have some good stuff today to talk about, it's the Niner line. If you're going to whine, it's the whiner line.
Yeah.
Whatever's on your mind, football related, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, who's an unsung hero for you this season? Who's a guy that, is not a name, a Nick Bosa, but kind of that back end of the roster guy that has impressed you this season?
Doesn't matter if it's offense or defense? Or
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It could be any position. Doesn't matter.
Well, on the defense, Kinlaw, that's a shame. I miss Kinlaw. I wanted to see more from him. As much as I want to say that he'd be an unsung hero, because this year he does seem to be, doing really great. I think the sad part about that situation is that I don't believe we're going to be seeing him next year. But it is really refreshing, at least for me, to be able to see Kinlaw, coming out and playing. I totally, when he had that whole thing, put some respect on my name, I believed him. Like, I would never want to disrespect anybody's name, let alone play with their money or emotions or anything like that. And, I seen another video. It was a recording that he had a show with Brad from SF 49ers. And he was talking about his struggles with getting his knee right, just trying to keep it healthy and water under the knee. And it seemed like whatever they tried to do, it just kept coming back. So he's been dealing with that. And to understand where he's coming from personally and to see how that translates onto the field, even despite the fact that he does get injured, has been injured, he has come back and has shown that, hey, I'm not super gone. I'm not bust. I'm still worth something. And I appreciate that from him. So I believe this year he could be the unsung hero. And like I said, it might be sad because we won't see him, next year. Maybe they might decide to keep him. I don't know if it'll be like a fancy waiver, put him on the practice squad or send him to a cheaper deal. But yeah, I like Kinlaw. And I don't know if because this is his last year, that's like so soft for him right now. It's, he's been decent. He's really been decent.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick. I mean, this is the year he's finally been healthy. He hasn't have to deal with that knee, right? He actually got to train this off season instead of rehab and come into camp healthy. And we've seen how it's translated to his play on the field. I mean,
and he's a big dude.
He's a big
Like-
dude, you know, and since week 1, he's been playing good football. Right?
Mhm.
We know how he's the 5th man in that defensive line rotation. And he's been playing solid ball, especially in the run game. Oh man, he's been tremendous.
Oh gosh.
So
and
yeah,
that-
I like that pick of Javon Kinlaw because he has impressed me a lot.
Mhm.
So Tony, closing thoughts.
So closing thoughts. I'm hoping the rest of this season we sweep the division, win out all our games. If we have to lose one, I hope it's not one that's going to be important to us. I hope it's one that we can actually just take it and just be like, okay, but not lose any position or momentum. I hope that they blow out the Cardinals this coming up weekend because I'm definitely looking forward to at least a 35-13 score and Niners
I'll
coming
take that.
home with a big W. So other than that, just praying for health and happiness and everybody to have just a great rest of this season and into going towards that Lombardi. This is going to be epic. This is when the party begins.
Yep.
Well said. Well said. Tony, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I hope you both have a great day. And if you're not already subscribed, make sure you check out on Wednesdays, 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time, East Coast Red and Gold.
Thank you.
Ty. Thank you,
Thank
Niners,
you.
Jazz. Time.
Go Niners. All right. So I put the link in there again because the chat keeps, moving on. So feel free, even if you just want to come on and say hi,
Yeah,
please do.
click in.
Not,
Join
that's
us.
okay too.
Spread the word.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Jason Verrett coming back?
Veteran guy, knows this organization. We know him. It's like a security blanket, right? It's like
Right.
an old friend coming back. It's like, oh, okay. It's good. We don't have to try to figure out who he is, blah, 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 how he's going to fit in. We know him. He'll be okay. And I see him as kind of like in case of emergency, break glass kind of a move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Tony just talked about the depth we have, and we have good players out there still. Mooney Ward's injury, knock on wood, isn't going to be, a long-term thing. So we still got him, Thomas and Lenore out there. Isaiah Oliver's out there. We got Womack and Luter out there still. Like we have a plethora of good corners that we can put on the field and win with. But, if, God forbid, knock on wood, knock, something happens, here we got a vet that we can bring in that we know can help us, right? It's just a matter of him getting his football legs under him now. Like, we know he's a hard worker. He's dedicated. So I'm sure he's trained up and he was on the field today practicing. It's just getting that football speed going now. And if he can return to his 2020 form in any shape, man, watch out. But yeah, I thought it was a good signing.
Yeah, I thought so too. We got Brian Culp in the house. Brian, what's
BC
going on?
in the house.
Hey, everybody. Are you guys excited?
You out there
Very
getting some air?
excited.
Outside getting some air?
Yeah, I just got home. And I seen you had some good guests on already. Pterodome and that one girl, Tony. Yeah, she's.
If you want a number, I could get it for you.
We'll talk after the show, of course.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, I am super excited. I don't know if I've said it enough yet, but I'm gonna just say it real quick. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. It's just exciting. Is that close, guys? Is that close? It's been a long time since we've had like a punt return or a kick return. I know the Green Bay Packer game, the playoffs, that kind of counts. It was a blocked punt, but I want to see somebody take it to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really truly do. So, do you guys, either one of you guys, do you guys get that vibe that it could happen, or do you think we're just going to be a little bit too conservative, a little too safe? Do you think special teams makes a move?
I think so. I think we're due for something. We're due for Shanahan's bag of tricks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's, like this game against Arizona, as time goes on, I think I don't know. I have that feeling.
I think the way just Mitch himself is playing, right, with his punts, with his just football IQ that's going on right now, I think something's going to happen on that end in the punt game. And we almost saw something happen versus Seattle on Thanksgiving night. When the guy muffed the punt, we jumped on it. Like, I can see someone just completely muffing it. One of our guys getting a scoop and score off that. And, at Levi's in the place erupting. That's just how it is. So, yeah. I do want to see something on special teams, because special teams always gets the house rocking, always gets the team juiced up. And that would be great.
So take the Ravens out of the equation, right? And we have what, the Cardinals coming up.
Yep.
Take the Ravens out, Washington, and we have the Rams. And the Rams are 4-1 in the division right now, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see any of these games? You take the Ravens game out, because I don't think that's a trap game. So any of those other games, do you think we could fall short?
I think anything's possible. The division games, they always play us hard no matter what. Whether they have good players or not, they always seem to, like whether it's the Cardinals, the Rams, the Seahawks, we're pretty, gritty games. But I don't know. I think that, I think we'll always have the Rams number.
Yeah. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no just to answer the question. Because like we're out of trap game season. We're in playoff mode right now.
Right.
This is December. It's December football. It's when you start playing for the ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. Right. And like a lot of people were saying Sunday's game was a trap game, but we went out there and handled business. Like, these guys know there's no time to play around right now. We're trying to achieve the goal. These games count. We're going to take it one at a time and handle business.
I gotta agree. I don't see us looking at any of these games as trap games, because we're going to go in, confident, but not overconfident. We're looking at each game one at a time. What was it? Was it 2019? I think we played the Falcons, another bird team. We do have a problem with bird teams sometimes. It does seem to come up quite a bit. But 2019, I think that was the season that we lost to the Falcons because of the touchdown. They were like right there at the red zone, right there at the line.
2019. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward hit Julio Jones, but it was too late. He already broke the plane.
That was a game that we should have won. And I'm really just take it one game at a time. I'm with Jess. Like, it was 15-2, and then now it's 14-3. I don't see us losing another game. Just, one game at a time. I don't like how some of the players are chirping a little bit, like especially after the winning, and to me, it's not classy, but you can't talk for other people. But, Tabor Pepper, man, you're a long snapper. What are you talking in the locker room about, man? But I got to say shout out to him. Hey guys, thank you for letting me come on. I'm going to get in the house, warm up, watch the rest of the show. Really appreciate you guys. Everybody like and subscribe to East Coast Red and Gold. Call in. Don't be scared. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, Brian.
Anytime. Oh, hey. And whoever is George Kittle loves pancakes. Yeah, we had a good playoff. Good.
Yeah, I know. You beat me. You beat me. All
right, bye.
I was waiting for it. Get out of here.
Gotta start screening these people.
Yeah, I know, right? I should never let him on.
Now we know who the better Cope is for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Tony, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, if you guys want to call in, I can drop the link again. If anyone is just joining us, it's a call-in show. Come on, say hello, speak your mind. Let's talk some 49ers football.
Indeed.
Let's talk a little Cam Newton.
Oh, this dude.
Yeah. This dude. Your thoughts on him saying that Brock Purdy's a game manager?
Listen, like I don't understand these guys who are out of football because they can't play anymore, overly criticizing the guys that are in football. That's one, right? And Brock just finished his rookie season. And it's like he expects him to be Superman. No, he's not that, but he's a damn good quarterback. Right? So give the kid a break. And I say that here a lot. Like, let's give this kid a break. Can he be Brock Purdy? He doesn't have to be Joe Montana. He can be Brock Purdy and be the best Brock Purdy ever. Right? And that's good. Why are you talking about him? As far as a game manager, all quarterbacks are game managers. That's their job, to manage the offense, right?
Right.
Right.
Good point.
But does Brock Purdy make plays that help sustain the offense? Yes. Does he keep this offense on track and moving in the right direction? Yes. Is he helping us win game after game after game? Yes. Can you find 5 other quarterbacks in the league playing better than him right now? No. So you know what? Why don't you just keep my quarterback's name out your mouth? How about that?
Yes, please.
You ain't doing what he's doing right now. So let's talk about that. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
You know, I almost feel like there's nothing better to talk about, so let's just not give Brock Purdy his flowers.
You know what it is? It's like, my podcast isn't doing well. Let me talk about the hottest guy in the league right now. Right? Like, let me put him down to get myself some relevancy right now. It's so terrible. And it's like, why can't you just sit back and enjoy what this kid is doing? He is balling right now. Like Cam was a running quarterback, took pride in his run. That run that Brock had against the Eagles, like, he should be celebrating him for that. Lowering his shoulder, coming up, high stepping, hitting his shoulder on the second guy. It's like, come on. That is world-class football right there. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
For those of you just joining us, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. It is a call-in show. The link is in the chat. So if you'd like to come on, say hello, talk some 49ers football, come and join us. You got about, 3 to 5 minutes, and then we move on from you. It'll be fun. So, George Kittle.
GK.
I love me some Georgie.
No. You?
I know, it's shocking. It really is. He just continues to dominate.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even, there's so many things to say, like just saying his name, it's like, there it is. Yep. Your thoughts on George Kittle this past game, what he needs to do against the Cardinals. Go ahead.
For me, with George, and I talked about this last season, as he started to take off. What I love about him is his football IQ, his intelligence for the game. He knows how to play it. He knows how to manipulate defenses. He knows what he needs to do on every given play to help a play succeed, whether that's blocking one man and then going up to the next level and blocking another man, or he's running a route and he sees a defender creeping up, so he alters his route a little bit and goes behind that guy for a good reception. Taking an angle after the catch to make a guy miss and then cutting crossfield and scoring. Football IQ out of this world. And that's what you love about him. And he's always been like a Seahawk killer, him and Debo.
Yep.
It's great to see him get a touchdown. Oh, I was so PO'd. So PO'd. There's been a lot of times that the Seahawks have made my blood boil. And on Sunday, when they ran our play
Yes.
on
Oh my
us
God.
and scored, I turned as red as this hat.
I was pissed.
I was like, no, that gum chewing SOB didn't. I was like, we got to score back. We got to get that back.
and
it's gotta be
you know
George.
what? No, we
Oh.
ran it so much better.
Oh yeah, completely.
It was, but
Completely.
just for them to do it, oh my God.
Yeah, just for them to have the gall to do it, and it's like that is definitely our play. That is a Bill Walsh play. That is a play we ran in the 80s. Like,
Yep.
how dare you run our play on us? Oh no. So when George scored, and was doing his, I was like, yes, we
Yep.
got to score back from our tight end. Take that, you gum chewing SOB. So love George, so glad he got it right back.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what?
man.
They what I was surprised about, they didn't show Pete Carroll on TV as much as they
Thank
normally
goodness.
do.
Oh man, because that Thanksgiving game where they were just
Yeah.
like zoomed in right on his face and talking about the gum too, like it was a feature of the broadcast. It was like, oh my God, please don't do it this week. And thank you, Fox, for not doing it.
Yes. Thank you, Fox. Demo Lenore,
Mm-hmm.
having his teammates back, Fred Warner,
Mm-hmm.
then he gets ejected.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, we talk about unsung heroes on the team. Demo is kind of in that unsung hero role. I don't think he gets the props that he needs to. He's been CB2 all season long,
Mhm.
and people see him move to the slot, but they forget on base downs, he's still out there on the outside being CB2, locking things down, right? He's just as valuable as Mooney Ward. And when Ward, went out, he kicked back outside, stayed there, and became CB1 and played like CB1. From the beginning of the game, he went man on man with Metcalf and got into him and frustrated DK, because we know DK has thin skin, and DK was joining with him from the beginning of the game. So what happened at the end was just building up for 4 quarters,
Mhm.
right? And when, excuse me, when Lenore had the almost pick, and then he did pick the ball off, but it got called back because of penalty, I'm sure DK was heated then, right? I'm sure he was heated, and he was probably talking trash, and we saw DK smash his helmet on the bench, right? So that push at the end was just kind of Lenore like, hey, come pick on me. I'm here. Like, I've been in your grill all day. Why you ain't catching no balls or nothing? Why you picking on him? So I loved it. It's I want to give a tip of the hat to Jimmy Ward, because it was Jimmy who started this whole thing of getting under DK's skin.
That's true.
We remember a few years ago when he was hitting them and bumping them and talking trash to him and getting under his skin, and we learned that he got thin skin and you can get in his head and take him out of a game. It's the Jimmy Ward game plan. It's good to see these guys keep it going. But I love the fight in Lenore. I love that he's not backing down from a challenge. He's actually rising to it. And, he's not afraid to get out there and scrap with his brothers and for his brothers. And we saw after that happened, Fred had his arm around him like, hey, I know what you're doing, but let's keep a level head about it, right? We're here to win the game, and I'm sure he'll learn from it and move on.
Yeah, and I know he called Kyle Shanahan,
Mhm.
And Kyle just said, it is our culture, stick up for one another, but just don't get ejected.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that is, fun fact, I believe it was Mike Silver who said that Kyle Shanahan will get someone a Christmas present, whoever can get under DK Metcalf's skin. So I wonder what that present's going to be.
Yeah.
And I had actually messaged Krug and I said, can you ask Kyle about it? And he started laughing. He's like, haha, maybe. So Krug, if you're watching, you still have to ask Kyle about it.
Yeah. I want to know, but I want to know who's it going to go to, because everyone assumes it's Fred because of what happened at the end of the game. But as I mentioned, Lenore was in his head all game long.
True.
Like that smash, the helmet, that was from Lenore, right? So I want to know who Kyle's going to pick. That's going to be a good one.
Flies get under DK's skin.
Oh man, his skin softer than silk. He is just that dude, man, softer than drugstore cotton. Like, oh.
So, Jair
David
Brown.
popped in.
Oh, yes.
Hold
we got
on.
David Corona.
Hey, what's up,
He's
guys?
in the house.
What's going on? Welcome
doing,
to the
man?
show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, what's on your mind?
Niners football and number 1 seed right now. I'm happy about that. And Cowboys helped us out last week, so we just have to win games, take one game at a time.
Yep.
And it's in 49ers' hands right now. Just take one game at a time, and we got this number 1 seed.
Indeed.
So
It's a good philosophy. One game at a time. Definitely.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait for the Christmas game. I'm going to that one.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yeah, first game ever for me.
Really?
That's a great game to go to for your first game.
Yeah.
You'll have a great time.
Yeah, I can't wait. So the team's doing good. Just one game at a time, and they have to keep playing how they've been playing against the Eagles, Seahawks, and we got the best defense in the whole NFL. That's what I think. After we picked up Chase Young, they said we got 29 sacks in the last 8 games. I don't know if that is true.
It's something like that, yeah.
So, yeah, Chase Young's a big deal for us, and he's helping us out. And we got injured players right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's like 7 players that are injured. And I think a few may be resting this week. Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, probably Mooney Ward. Oren Burks is out for an extended period of time with knee tendonitis. Spencer Burford with his knee.
Damn.
Yeah. So, but we
don't really need him for this game, Cardinals game, but we do need him. We do need him for the Christmas game, because that's a tougher appointment team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. So, what are your thoughts on sweeping the Seahawks this season?
Hold on, BRB.
I told everybody. I told everybody. The Niners gonna sweep the whole division again, like they did last year. So they said we were gonna lose one game against the Seahawks. I told them, nah, we're gonna beat them both times. Seahawks not that good. But Drew Locks give us a tough game, but we came out on top. So I knew we were gonna beat the division twice again. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I was one of those people that actually said that we would lose at least one game to the Seahawks. I had us going 15-2. So the fact that we're 10-3 right now is not is, you know, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I think we should be like we 10-2, 10-3 right now. We should be like 11-1, 12-1.
Yeah.
That's what I think. So
what are your thoughts going into the Cardinals game?
We just have to hold down the little short guy, Kyrie Murray. We just have to shut him down and Brown and the running back. I'm not worried about the other players because we've been shutting them out in the last couple years. So I think my scores be 38-10 Niners.
Okay.
I like it.
That's a good score. Yeah, James Conner is their running back, and he had a good game when they played the Steelers.
Oh yeah, he went back home too. He used to play for the Steelers.
Yep. So do you guys have any concern about them coming off the bye week?
Who, the Cardinals?
Yes.
Go ahead. You can answer it if you want.
Sorry, I was coughing. I just want to say, I want to meet whoever made our schedule and gave us all these games with teams coming off their bye week.
That's right. Jacksonville was another one.
What up with that?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, they need West because we got the powerhouse defense and we got the powerhouse offense. So they need rest, and they need to watch it. They need to watch us how we play for the other team, so they know what's coming through.
Yep.
So that's what I think.
Wow, looks like we got a Ravens fan in the chat. Welcome.
Well, welcome. That's something.
Yeah,
I don't know about you guys going into Levi Stadium and destroying us.
Nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, nah. Levi's is not. That ain't like L.A.
Terradome is correct. It is the bye-bye birdie tour.
That's right.
Yeah, we've been shooting all the birds lately.
Indeed.
One bird at a time.
Any closing thoughts, David?
My closing thoughts are let's just have to play good how we've been playing and just take one game at a time. And after that, this is 49ers thing. If we keep playing how we've been playing, one game at a time, we will get the number 1 seed. And they have to come to our house for all the playoff games. And you know our team, we loud in our stadium. I've never been to a stadium. I find out on Christmas, but
I love it.
And on TV when I watch it, I could hear all the fans like that. They're screaming. They're going defense, offense, and they're cheering for our team. So I find out on Christmas what's going down.
You're gonna love it, man. Levi's gets the rocking, and it's just a wonderful place. Oh man, you're gonna have a ball.
Yeah, everybody high-fiving and just, you know, it's like one big family watching a game. You're gonna have an awesome time. David, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And
man.
If I don't talk to you, enjoy the game and Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you too. Same to you. Merry Christmas to both of you guys, and let's go Niners.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
All right, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
All right. David McNiner, what's going on? What's on your mind?
What's going on?
Well, you know, we got a little bit of Jason Verrett to the practice squad, which
Yep.
you know, he might be good for the rest of the season. I mean, you never know. Right? But at this point, I keep watching the news because I really want us to sign Zach Ertz at this point. You know, Kittle's you know, he's tight end 1. But having a legitimate guy to bring in and put in a double tight end set, that would be so awesome. And, you know, I was looking at the injury report. Hargrave out with a hamstring. Armstead, he's got knee and foot issues, which he does have that plantar fasciitis. So that's something that will probably flare up every now and again.
But apparently it's not the same foot.
Yeah. They said it was different foot. So it's a different issue.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly what it is this time. So it may just be something that needs rest.
Well, hopefully we can give it to him. I don't. When it comes to the Cardinals, their injury report is way thicker than ours. They're missing all kinds of people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be content with, Givens, Kinlaw, and Kalia Davis in the middle with a little, mixing an edge, just like, the Corvette package, kind of like we could call it the Lambo package, but I'm a big American sports car guy, so it's the Corvette package.
Corvette package. Well, we did a little bit of a Corvette package this Sunday. Did you notice that?
I did.
I was just going to say that,
I saw Randy Gregory lining up in the middle there, and
Randy Gregory, Chase Young, Nick Bosa, and then it was kind of a rotation of who that fourth guy would be. Normally a bigger guy like Kevin Givens or Kinlaw was out there, but you had those three pass rushers out there, and they were mixing up where they would line up sometimes. So we did go to a bit of a Corvette package just to like pin your ears back and get after the quarterback. And I loved it. Oh, I loved it when I saw those guys on the field.
I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this. Armstead, he's formidable, and there are times where you could pull him out, put an edge in, and you could probably get a bit better pass rush than what he has to offer. But, he's not a chump. So he's still going to be, get in there and wreak some havoc. But
Armstead gets to the quarterback. Like
he does.
He can get out there. It's like putting the right pieces on the field.
So we have Hargrave and Armstead, and it's like, and last year we were running the Corvette package, and I really liked seeing that. I thought that was awesome. And this year, this is probably the first time we ran it, but that's because we kind of, were decimated by injury at that position. So they were, they started to run a few different things. It's nice to see them mixing it up like this.
Yeah.
Because, moving forward, that offense is not going to have any idea what we're going to do,
Yeah, it's nice to see. And I know they said that Nick Bosa is a huge fan of that.
Oh, yeah.
So
he loves it.
Yeah. So it's good to see that the players are buying in, to these adjustments. Any closing thoughts, David?
At this point, it's one game at a time. You can't overlook the Red Chickens, no matter how hurt they are or bad they are.
Indeed.
They do have the Kyler Mighty Midget Murray. So, moving forward, can't overlook anyone. And you never know, that Week 18 game against the Rams, it's probably going to mean something for both teams. Yep. Hopefully we can send them home.
Yeah.
Definitely. David, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, David.
Have a great night.
See you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. We got CardCast.
Welcome to the New Jersey portion of the show.
Yeah.
CardCast in the house. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, both of you? What's good? What's good, guys?
What's going on? What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I want to come in here quickly. Great win for the Niners over the Seahawks. A couple of records broken. Brandon Ayuk reached 1K receiving yards, and then Deebo Samuel, most career rushing touchdowns by a wide receiver in NFL history. So shout out Deebo. That was a great win. Division rival, but we're moving on to the Cardinals. They always play us tough, division rival. But I'll get to the Cardinals real quick. I want to make this real quick, and then I want to get into the rest of the schedule. But the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, I believe it was 2 years ago. I think it was we versed Colt McCoy, and we lost that game. So there's been past games against this team where they've gotten the better out of us. So it's going to be a tough game. We do have a couple of injuries. I don't know if Armstead's going to be back this week, but you saw what our pass rush did against, Drew Lock. He looked pretty
Mhm.
good. The stats look good, but there was a couple dropped interceptions. Our defensive line
Yeah.
didn't get to the quarterback. He's supposed to throw 4 picks, but we only got 2 on him, which I
Right.
think Steve Wilkes has figured out this defense. Especially with Mooney Ward out, I think our depth really came in handy. Ambry Thomas,
Mhm.
Ambry Thomas held his own. Diamador held his own. Isaiah Oliver actually, he didn't look
stepped
like a
up.
liability. He didn't look like a liability this game.
Yep.
So
Yep.
shout out Oliver. We'll see if he can keep it going. But Kyler Murray, we have to keep him in the pocket like we did to Jalen Hurts. I don't think Kyler Murray's the best passer. If we lose contain to the outside, yes, Kyler Murray can run. They do have weapons. They do have Hollywood Brown. They have this rookie tight end, McBride. So they do got weapons. And then,
Yep.
they're obviously going to run the ball because they have James Conner. So they've been relying on him a little bit. But I think we can get this win. If I did have to put out a score prediction, I would probably have to go. I think we're going to score 30 here. I think it's going to be like somewhere 30, 34, 33, somewhere around that range. And I think, I think especially with Kyler, I think Kyler Murray's getting into the groove of things after coming off of his ACL. I think they're going to put up at least 20, 21. I think they're going to put up a fight, but I think the Niners are going to come out with the victory here. But that's just my thoughts on this game. But, yeah.
Yeah, the defense has to stay in their lanes.
Mhm.
As far as Kyler Murray is concerned. Carcast, Randy wants to know, are you from North, South, or Central Jersey?
No, unfortunately, I'm from South Jersey, so I have to deal with those Eagles fans. But yeah,
My parents were actually in Cape May this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And they were walking around in their Niners gear,
Of course.
and a lot of boos were headed their way, and some unhappy fans, and they weren't even they weren't even kidding either. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's rough down there.
Yeah, but I want to quickly get to the rest of the schedule. I want to get through this pretty quickly, but
Yeah.
Sure,
I
go
do
ahead.
know. Yeah, I do know I talk about the Cardinals, but the Ravens game, the Christmas game, let's get revenge on them. We all know what happened, but it's Lamar. It's same thing. He's mobile, but they're obviously going to be without their top tight end, Mark Andrews, or his top target, Mark Andrews. So the Niners don't have to worry about him, but they do got some. The main focus is on Lamar. The main focus is on Lamar. Like when we're talking about the Eagles, the main focus was Jalen Hurts. So if we can do the same thing, I think the Niners. We obviously are the first seed right now. Thank you to I hate saying this, but thank you to the Cowboys. Shout out Cowboys. But we are the first seed now when we clinched it with the Giants win. So if we can win out, which I think we can, one game at a time. I know a couple of people brought that up. So I think the Ravens is a win. I think the Commanders is a win, really, especially. I mean, I really didn't think Sam Howell, he had his bursts here and there. I don't think Taylor Heineke is going to do them big favors or whatever. But I think we could win that. And obviously, Brian brought it up. The Rams are 4-1 the division this year, and they put up a fight against the Ravens, which I was surprised about last week. So it's gonna be tough, It's gonna be tough, but I think we can win out, and I think we'll be set, man, going into the playoffs. And I think we're gonna have that first round bye, which is really gonna help get that rest and have that home game,
Exactly. Any final thoughts, Carcast?
Yeah, like everyone said, one game at a time, keep our heads down, let's not take any days off. Let's not take these guys lightly, because Cardinals play us tough, Rams play us tough last week of the season, and we got the Ravens in there as well. So one game at a time, don't matter the opponent, these teams are going to come out firing, no matter their record. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Yep. Go Niners. Bang, bang, Niner gang. I'll see you guys later.
Bang, bang. All right. We got Melissa. Melissa, what's going on, Jersey?
Jersey in the house.
How's it going?
I'm North Jersey, so it's kind of opposite. I'm in the land of Jets and Giants
She's in
fans.
Giants country, exactly.
Yes. Yep. Same here.
I live like 20 minutes away from MetLife, so like that's all I deal with is the crazy Giants and Jets population. Aside from like the random Pittsburgh fan or Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you always got like the front runners who pretend like they're Patriot fans lifelong or Green Bay fans or some other weird stuff. So, but I get to be on with Ty. I've never been on with Ty.
I know what's going on.
This is awesome.
You've been talking
I'm a little
forever.
starstruck. I wanted to come on because I feel like you guys are like one of the very few podcasts who doesn't like get boggled down where guys are on the roster. Like everybody else wants to like talk about like either the biggest all-stars or they want to talk about like the biggest surprises, but they don't want to really compliment the whole roster. And I feel like the one cool thing about the East Coast Red and Gold podcast is you guys don't care where they are on the roster. If they make a good play, if they come up clutch or something, you guys will just highlight them just because they're a Niner.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what round, what their name is, what they've done before. And it's not like when somebody else kind of like forces in a chat where like, oh, they're like, oh, okay, well, people keep mentioning this, so I guess I'll begrudgingly saying it. Like, you guys and Bex and Maddie will just do it because that's what feels right to you. And I wanted to give you guys so much love for that because you're not just East Coasters like I am, but like you literally will love 1 through like 100, whether it's like practice squad guys, the actual 53, the guys that constantly rotate in and out throughout a year. Like that's one of the, I think, the unsung strengths of this podcast.
Oh, well, thank you so much. That's a great compliment.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I want to come in and give a little kudos to one of my favorite guys, Charlie Warner. I don't think anyone actually truly appreciates Charlie Warner unless he's dropping a ball, and then everybody mentions the name Charlie Warner. But he had a huge tackle on special teams, and he had a huge, I think, I want to say it was either second or third down, where Brock was under fire, and Charlie Warner came out of nowhere, and they thought it was George Kittle for a second, and it was like the first 2 times they played it on the broadcast, they kept saying George Kittle, and they're like, no, Charlie Warner. They're like,
it was 89.
Pause it like halfway through his name because they're like, that's not 85. And I love that, you know, you guys are like one of those few podcasts. Like, I think so many of us get caught up in storylines and what's hot, and you don't want to fight against the grain. And I appreciate what you guys do because you don't slander unless it's like called for, but it's constructive slander. It's not like just to slam someone to slam somebody. And so what I really would struggle with, and I feel bad because I feel like I would get so fed up with so many podcasts. Like I could not just take one more podcast, you know? And so I started like slipping this summer and I stopped watching so much stuff. I felt guilty because you guys have never been that, and I wanted to just shove that out. But I love that you guys never were those Kindle bashers. Like I felt like everybody wanted to jump on the Grant Cohen page and call him out for like the raccoon in his mouth and him bumping Grant Cohen and the fact that he was never DeForest Buckner. He was never going to live up to the legacy of DeForest Buckner, and his bad knees and everything else. And I cannot thank you guys enough for literally living, breathing, and representing what it is to be a real faithful. Even though none of you guys are West Coasters, like it's so weird to see that today. You guys are like unapologetically who you are.
I'm gushing. Thank you. I know. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Nah, thank you. That's what we try to be, you know.
You see, like Jess is like doing her thing on like ladies of the faithful with like Tony and Dina, and like she's doing her thing with Beto, and you guys are all branching out and doing your thing, but you guys are like constantly keeping that same energy everywhere you go, and it's nice because so many people when they get bigger, they start to change or feel like they have to do that peer pressure thing to kind of fit in.
Fit
And
in
you
with
guys have
everybody
been
else.
day
Yeah.
one the same to now, and I don't think I'm not like trying to embarrass you guys or just like prop up you guys because I'm on your podcast.
No.
Because I've mentioned a bunch of this stuff to Ty himself in DM, so
Yeah.
like this is nothing
We
new.
chatted. Yeah.
But I really wanted to come on here and say thank you because like I had the best time talking with Jess and Tony and Dina that one time with them, and Ty, it's still one of my dreams. I'm sorry I haven't done it yet, but I still
No.
have it on my list. It's just been a crazy year with my
We'll
dogs
make it
being
happen.
sick and
Yeah.
my family and everything else. But thank you guys for always being who you are.
Well,
It's
thank
very
you.
much appreciated. So
Well,
That's what we
thank
try to do.
you.
Just have
Thank
open conversation and be honest. Like honesty.
Yes.
Like let's just keep it real. Like not go for the hype and the headlines and just speak some facts
and
and
I
tell it like it
love
is. Right?
I love you, Jess, because I swear to God, no matter how much people give you crap about it, you stay true to your Shanahan loving roots and your George Kittle loving roots.
As
And
she's
I
wearing
swear
Kyle's
to
shirt
God,
right now.
Yep, as I'm wearing my Kyle shirt right now, and Kyle's
and
in
I
the
love
background.
whenever you're like on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and you got your like bejazzled 85, like the half red, half white shirts or jerseys you got going on, and so many of us were so bullied and tortured and rallied against, and like the big names would call us out and say trash about us because we love Kittle and we didn't like the idea of him going away, or people slandering him for Ross Dwelly because remember it took to what last year? Yeah, it was last year. It was the very first time he ever had a 2-touchdown game. Like before that, even when he almost broke Shannon Sharp's record in two quarters of football, he had only had 1 touchdown in that game. And everyone was like, Ross Dwelly has the better hands, and Ross Dwelly has had a 2-touchdown game, and like you don't need to pay George all this money. And it's just like that's what I love about you guys. It's not just consistent, but it's dedication. It's just something gravitational that it's so rare to find genuine people, and you guys are just you're amazing.
Well,
And that makes
Thank
me
you.
prouder
And
to
you
be an
are
East
too.
Coast fan
You know that?
that lives in Jersey. I might not live in Jess's area of Jersey, but to be Jersey faithful, that's why I tag you in so many Jersey posts, Jess, and I apologize, but it's just
No, it's okay.
like we don't get
All
any
good.
credit, okay? Like everything goes to Ty's state, even when it's our state, it's still called New York, okay? Like
Yep.
the Super Bowl was in our state, not their state, and yet
And
they
they
made it
still
all
say
about
Super
New
Bowl's
York.
played in New York.
Okay.
Yep.
We have Jair Brown, and he's from Trenton, New Jersey.
Yep.
And that is
Jersey boy.
the young
Born and bred.
star safety for the San Francisco 49ers. And how much you want to bet? They'll mention Penn State, where he went to college, after he went to community college. They'll mention anything else, but they will never bring up the word Jersey. And if they do, they always do that the Joyzy thing or the New York thing that
They try to
drives
put
me up the
stupid
wall.
accent. Yeah.
Yeah, and as much as I love the Tommy DeVito thing, because mother went to Don Bosco over in Ramapo in Ramsey, and my cousin went to school with Chris Sims, so I have like a long history with Giant players. My dad's a diehard Giant fan.
Right.
It's just so nice to finally have someone to represent Jersey, aside from Kevin Givens. And not to be like the quintessential like Jersey Shore like cartoonish Jersey version that doesn't represent all of us. Like I can't tell you guys how many times I mention where I'm from, and the first thing out of people's mouths is The Sopranos.
Yeah.
It's like that's how we are though. It's like a small fraction. So I'll get off. I want to give everybody a shout to hang out with you guys, but I just want to say thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. If you guys don't celebrate holidays at all, can you at least just be respectful that other people love their holidays and they don't need to offend you if they say happy holidays or Merry Christmas, because it's not out of that you know, they're trying to niggle you thing. It's just it's coming from a place of respect and love. So love you guys. Love Bex. I still have her up on my wall, and I still tag her every time I add something new to my wall, because you guys rock, and you guys deserve the love just as much as Inspector Deb and everybody else that's up on my wall up here. So love you
Thanks,
guys.
Awesome.
for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Bye.
Yeah. See ya.
Go Niners. CarCast. I live in Northwest Jersey. I'm about 45 minutes from MetLife Stadium. All right. So tonight was fun.
It's fun stuff.
Thank you for everybody who was in the chat and who came on to chat with us and say hello. Melissa had awesome words for us, and that's really cool.
It's always good to hear. You know.
Yeah,
especially from up here,
Randy,
you
some
know.
people do think that I live in Pennsylvania. I'm with you on that.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like some people, like 45 minutes, that's like in Pennsylvania. No, it's not.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, so Ty, who are your before we go, who are your game balls for the Seahawks game?
Ooh, this is a good one. Man, so on defense, I got one for the combination of Javon Kinlaw, Kevin Givens, and Kalia Davis. We knew coming into the game Armstead would be out. We lost Hargrave at some point, and those guys held it down in the middle. It is just great to see the depth and those guys step up. And, you know, Melissa talked about the unsung guys. Like a guy like Kevin Givens has quietly had a very good season.
Yes.
Along with Kinlaw.
Mhm.
You know, so under the radar, but he has been solid in there. So those guys definitely to get a game ball from me. In the secondary, I got to point out Diamador Lenore and the job he did, and Jair Brown. I mean, Jair Brown should have had, 2-3 interceptions maybe?
Yeah.
Fred Warner stole one from him.
Yeah.
Like Fred owes him a lunch or a dinner or something, but Fred's going to be Fred, you know? Like, he makes plays. What can you do? But he had a solid game once again. And that interception he had was just like Terradome talked about, the beautiful artistry of football.
Mm-hmm.
How he played center field perfectly and read the quarterback and read the route and immediately jumped to it and supported the DB on the outside. That's what you want, like your center field safety to do. And he played it perfectly. It was beautiful. So he definitely gets one. On offense, oh geez, who do you not give a ball to? It's so rough. I got to give one to Brock because Brock played a great game, and it's so much more than just the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the mentals of it and understanding the offense and understanding how to take advantage of the defense. Like that touchdown throw to Debo. Like
amazing.
Debo said, he wasn't the guy on the route, but Brock understood there's nobody back there. And oh, look who it is in coverage. Jamal Feet of Stone Adams.
Yep.
If I lead him to pay dirt, that's 6. And sure enough, he puts it up. Perfect ball. Debo runs under it, catches it in stride. 6. That's understanding football, right? That's quarterbacking. And that's another thing why the whole game manager thing really pisses me off, because it's like that one simple play lets you know He's doing so much more than just managing the game. But I digress. So Brock gets one. Got to give one to Debo. Got to give one to CMC as well. And I want to give one to John Feliciano on the offensive line. I think he had a solid game just with his blocking. You know, not the starter, but filling in. He had a good game. Who would you? Oh, I got to give one to Big Mitch as well. But I could give one to him every week.
Yeah.
But once again, the football IQ, right? Like
yeah, just seeing what he saw and just
like, oh, I'm taking off.
Yeah.
It makes a huge play. And when I give him one, because he did the same thing in week 1 where it was a kickoff. I mean, a field goal attempt, but he was holding and they jumped it. They were offside and was going to block it. And he picked it up and he ran for like 30, 40 yards. And they called it back then too.
Yeah.
So he's been robbed of 2 huge runs this season.
Well, third time's a charm.
Right, exactly. He'll get it on the next one. He'll probably score a touchdown too. But that's just his football intelligence, right? Like, oh, there's a play to be made. Let me take it up and go. Let me pick up this ball and go.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that. So he definitely gets one. Who would you give your game balls to?
I am going to go with Brock. Because you know what? You're right. Like between the ears is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to go with Debo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with my guy, George Kittle.
Yep.
CMC, Jair Brown, because the rookie is really coming into his own.
Yeah.
He really does well back there. And
I'm you also can see why they drafted him third. They traded up to get him in the 3rd round, right?
Yes.
Like you're seeing it. It's beautiful.
And, you know, like when he was with Penn State, he had those 10 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? He's showing every bit of why we picked him up there.
Two interceptions in 4 games.
Yes.
I'm just saying. You're seeing it.
Yep. And then, of course, Javon Kinlaw. Javon Kinlaw had a great game. I think he's having a really good season.
Yeah.
You know, and like you had mentioned earlier, like he finally had an off season where he didn't have to rehab.
Yeah. Didn't have to rehab, got the train, and it's showing on the field. Oh.
Yeah. And Randy asks, is Debo reminding everyone who wide receiver 1 is?
No. Brandon Ayuk is still wide receiver 1.
Agreed.
Debo, though, is like weapon number 1, 1A or 1B behind Christian McCaffrey. That those two can go either way. But it's like, okay, if we need a big play, let's call 19's number. Because he's a big play waiting to happen. On any, whether you throw the ball to him long or short, he's just a big play waiting to happen. And we talk about the mismatch that George Kittle is. Like he's too big for defensive backs and too fast for linebackers. Well, Debo is like kind of too fast for linebackers and too big for defensive backs too, right? He's kind of in that same mold and just so shifty and crafty with the ball. It's like, yeah, I like the fact that kind of all season long, we kind of didn't really see Debo much, right? We didn't kind of see him having these 2 touchdown games and, you know, catching and running, except for that game, like Ayuk was out. The Giants game, we were there, where he had to be wide receiver number 1. Like he had to be that guy. So we leaned on him. But all season long, it was kind of, we know it was CMC, it was Ayuk, and Kittle was in the mix. And it's like, where's Debo? Okay, so now teams are focusing on those guys, and it's like, oh, you want to not give too much attention to Debo? Okay. Release the hounds. It's like, here you go.
100%.
Oh, you got to love it.
All right, so score prediction for the Cardinals game before we go.
Cardinals game, I got it 30-13. Then we handle business again. I think it'll be one of those things where we'll score a touchdown and then get 2 field goals and it'll be 7-6. And we're like, what's going on? And then at some point we'll just step on the gas like we normally do and take the game over. So I got it 30-13.
I'm gonna go 34-14.
Okay.
It's the hat and t-shirt game.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna win. We're gonna clinch the NFC West.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently over 61% of the stadium is going to be Niners fans. So I'm excited
another
for that.
Niners home game.
Yes. But yeah, let's, anything else you want to add, Ty, or should we go to the 2-minute warning?
No. We jump to 2-minute warning. Where is it? Okay. I got it. And a 1 and a 2 and go.
All right. I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It was a really good turnout for our first call-in show. And shout out to the chat. Shout out to our callers. Shout out to the 49ers. Congratulations to Brock Purdy and CMC for the FedEx Air and Ground Players of the Week. Continue to vote for the Pro Bowl. Even though I have this funny feeling that they won't be attending because they'll have a bigger game that they have to get ready for. Yeah, let's beat the Cardinals. Let's take it one game at a time, and let's get that dub on Sunday. Go Niners.
Exactly. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys were on fire. Shout out to our guests. You guys were amazing. For our first call-in show, this was really good and really fun, and you guys made that happen. So hats off to you. Thank you so much. 49ers, man. Like there's still a lot of debate about this team. Who's better than this? Who's that? Is Brock this? Is Debo that? Sit back and enjoy this ride because it's magical. If you're an older fan and you've experienced some of those older teams, like this team has that vibe to it. And it's something that you need to sit back and take in and enjoy it with your fellow 49er fans. Like Jess said, 61% of that stadium is going to be filled with the faithful on Sunday. You don't get that anywhere else.
Nope.
So it's a great time to be a 49er fan. It's a great time to root for the team. So continue to do so. One game at a time is the quest for 6. Let's go. Go Niners.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you need some stocking stuffers for Christmas, go over to planetjerky.net and get your jerky. And also go on iesportsradio.com / East Coast Red and Gold podcast and check us out. And again, subscribe, like, go Niners. See you next week.
Go Niners. See you next week, everybody.
And of course, for the upstart 49ers, they're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side, possibly.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.